So, yeah, today is hump day. Woo! Okay, so, uh, man, Wednesday mornings are kind of like difficult to do for me just simply because of the fact that in terms of anything that I watch, nothing really, new happened. I mean, I guess, like, if you do watch anything on Tuesdays, that's fine, but there's nothing really on that interests me, so there you go. Um, yeah, this is, I mean, maybe I'm just sort of feeling out of it a little bit today just because I'm sort of going through NFL season withdrawal. I mean, don't get me wrong, people are going to be talking about, what happened on Sunday for, at the very least, a good month and a half after the fact. And plus, I have the NFL Top 100 to look forward to, which I really cannot wait to can't wait to watch that. That's gonna be fun. Uh, yeah. Other than that, I mean, another good thing about what's going on recently is, I mentioned this like the last couple of days. We're still technically in a bit of a warm front. I mean, it's cooler now than it was, say, yesterday, but actually it's going to feel colder because I do believe it's supposed to rain today. I could be wrong, which, I mean, the rain always makes things feel... I think that's why rain gets, like, a bad rap, because, rain is essentially, precipitation or water, and the water naturally feels cold, so you put if it starts raining on a relatively cool day, the air temperature is going to affect the water temperature, that's making it feel colder than it really is. That's why, even though we get like a 75-degree day, even though technically that's warm, water, I do believe, has a higher specific heat, therefore it feels cold on a relatively warm day. Science! Yeah, I'm surprised I still remember that stuff from high school. Especially since of the 5 science classes I technically took at Horseheads, I probably did the worst at Earth Science, which is the first one. Although, I was lucky enough to take Earth Science over the course of 2 summers, which, full disclosure, those are like some of the worst summers ever, because I could not enjoy that at all. Who wants to go to school during the summer, man? That ain't cool. Even if it is for the reason of, getting a class out of the way. I mean, at the time I thought it was pretty bad, but then when I was in college, I took 2 chemistry classes over the course of a summer at Corning Community College, or CCC for those in the know, or if you really want to be technical, the Spencer Hill Institute of Technology. I'm just saying. Someone's going to completely take that the wrong way. So, yeah, long story short, going to school during the summer, not fun. But if it gets stuff out of the way, who am I to judge? So, yeah, summers of 7th and 8th grade, I took Earth Science, freshman year, biology, sophomore year, chemistry, junior year, physics, and, I didn't really need to take any science my senior year, but just for laughs, I took anatomy and physiology, which was actually taught by my homeroom teacher at Horseheads, so that was pretty cool. I practically, I started the day at the locker, by my homeroom class, and ended the day at my homeroom class. It was actually really cool because one of my wrestling teammates at Horseheads, was in that class too. And, we both, like, sat up front. We were just, I mean, obviously we were good students. We paid attention, tried to do well in class. But, when things got to be pretty, easy or, nothing was going on, it was great. We all basically, like, hang out. Now, I say we all, as in there was only two of us, but there were other people there too. And it was great. Because my homeroom at Horseheads, no kidding, if there are any Horseheads alumni watching this, and I know some of y'all are, that was like, it was basically a homeroom that was the size of two classrooms. Room 105, and that was the one with the giant fish tank in there. And, like, there was a rabbit cage, a snake cage. Oh, it was awesome. There was one time for an anatomy and physiology class where we actually fed a mouse to the snake. That was awesome. I mean, it's disturbing for those of you with weak constitutions, but if you don't have a weak constitution, it's awesome. Because it was great. Like, the mouse literally, like, jumped in, like, midair, and the snake just sort of, like, right in midair. Like, seriously, if only I, like, had a 360-degree camera, I totally would have used that to recreate the Matrix. That would have been awesome. But again, there are other things in that class, and they're awesome, too. You had, again, a giant fish tank, which is awesome. I mean, fish tanks are cool. I mean, if anyone has ever, if the Finding Nemo movies are any indication, fish are awesome. Especially if you're a clownfish or whatever fish Dory is. I forget what, I just learned what type of fish Dory is the other day. But for the life of me, I can't remember. Let's see, what else is there? But, that wasn't the only, like, really cool classroom that we had at Horseheads. There were some other good classrooms, too. Forget it, I'm just gonna... Should I? Huh. Maybe I probably could sort of... Nah, this isn't really... maybe... I should probably do, like, a Raider report someday about the classes that... Especially the classrooms that they had Horses, because they were pretty cool, and just like the daily life of a student there. For that matter, I should also do a TP Tales of the day in the life of any student at Trinity Pauling as well. I really would like to do videos like that, especially for, Trinity Pauling, just because I sort of have a bit more of an attachment to that place, which is odd because I spent, 6 years in the Horseheads district and only 1 year at Trinity Pauling. I don't know. Actually, no, scratch that. They're both about the same. I would like to just get, like, a little more information. All I can tell you is that my homeroom was room 105, and that homeroom was awesome. Just because of the location and because of the giant fish tank. Which, again, is awesome. And my homeroom teacher was pretty chill, too. He was nice. He was really cool. So, yeah. Actually, one really good thing about anatomy and physiology when I took it was I didn't have to do a Regents exam. That was like really cool. My senior year, I didn't have to take any Regents exams at all. Like, I think in the entirety of my senior year, I took maybe one legitimate in-class final. Everything else was either, like, super duper chill or just, like, whatever. Or, like, actually, yeah, my final semester was, like, introduction to theater and drama. They were two different classes. And the final projects were, like, performances or whatever, which, those are really cool. And there was anatomy and physiology. I just explained that. And honestly, if you were a senior, you took a class called Life 101, which, no, it's nothing to do with science. It's basically where you have to learn stuff like, buying a house, going to college, having children, stuff that pretty much any adult is more than likely going to have to do, should they actually want that. Because, some adults decide not to do some of those things. I mean, there are plenty of adults that, go their entire lives without buying a car. There are plenty of adults that go their entire lives with, out without having, children, That's just, based on choice. I mean, that really is the beautiest thing about, sort of being an adult, even though when you're a kid it's something that technically you kind of dread. It's that you really are able to do whatever you want within reason. I mean, I say within reason because, yeah, I could stay up to, for example, that is, I could stay up to, midnight and, watch, I don't know, whatever's on at midnight at that hour. I don't know, maybe stuff on Comedy Central, I guess. I don't know. And only, sleep in till noon and but honestly, I don't really see the point of doing that. Plus, there's already an opportunity to do that once a week anyway. It's called the weekend. For me, it's usually around Saturday night. Even though, come to think of it, ever since I started doing these videos, I don't think I've ever actually slept in until noon. I mean, I've been really late in making videos before. That's happened, but that's just because of scheduling conflicts and ridiculous project that I tried to work on that turned out to be a bust, but that's neither here nor there. So, yeah. Although I do have one really funny story in the anatomy and physiology course. It was actually, it's actually quite funny. So, this is around, let's say, I'm pretty sure it was around April, let's say. Around the time of year where, springtime, starting to get warmer, bugs are, sort of, and, bugs are out, so occasionally you'll see, like a moth or something like that, fly around. And there was one, day in anatomy and physiology class where, the lights are off, the projector's on because, we're writing down notes and, listening to stuff. It was actually a rather informative, class lecture on, I believe we were talking about I think we were talking about the heart around that time. I don't know. Hopefully if someone was in that class and they're watching it, they may remember this. But throughout the whole class, there's this moth flying around. And with my luck, it was flying pretty much in my general area. So I literally timed it correctly where I clapped my hands with it right in my reach and I killed the moth. And I mentioned earlier how chill the teacher was, because, not only because he was my homeroom teacher, but just because he was a pretty popular teacher in general. In fact, he was actually the golf coach. I forgot to mention that. He was also the school's golf coach for both boys and girls. I clapped my hands, ended up killing the moth, and everyone in the class was laughing because I really was swatting at the moth for a little while. And after I ended up killing the moth, the teacher goes, "Has anyone seen my pet moth?" That was actually really fun. I wonder how that teacher's doing. Come to think of it, I wonder how a lot of people in my anatomy and physiology class are doing. If any of you guys are watching this, hi. And if any of you guys are watching, that'd be really cool. So, you know what? I officially have my top for today's video. But, you're going to know, so I'm going to be putting that on Facebook too anyway. Actually, speaking of which, I should probably get going before I begin to ramble on too much. So, favorite, share, and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. I could really use the support on YouTube. Follow me on the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. Be sure to, for Flannel February, you got to promote Flannel February. Help out my really chill friend who's trying to raise money for the food bank of the Southern Tier. Help them out as well. And as always, I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I hope we all have a wonderful hump day. And remember, if you guys ever want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have your back. Take care.